Hello everyone. In this video, we want to take a look at packages 14.3.5 and discuss about basic router configuration review. Objectives in this assignment and in this task, configure devices and verify connectivity and also display router information. Yes, we should start from part 1, configure devices and verify connectivity. You can see two router here, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 networks here, and also one network between router 2 and internet here. 6 networks can be see here. In first step, we should configure IP version 4 and IP version 6 on the PC3 as this in the addressing table, and also for PC4. For PC3, you should go here under desktop and click on IP configuration, and you can see PC3 here. You should copy paste in this IP address, and also uh, subnet mask is 255.255.255 and 0 because it's /24. And default gateway is here according to addressing table. You should copy and paste. Oh, excuse me. Yes, and we don't have any DNS server here, as you can see, and DNS server should be 00, for example. And what about IP version 6? This is IP version 6. You should copy IP version 6, and also it should be /64. Come again. Yes, we have any extra space here, and now it works. And also remember to copy paste default gateway here. Okay, and check it again. And what about PC4? And PC4 is same process, IP configuration, and you should copy and 255 and also 255 and also 0 here, and 10 0 5 1, and should be here also. This is should assign and 64, and default gateway is IP address of the interface of router. Okay, and it's finishing first step. In next step, as you can see here, configure the router. We should start with configure the router. We should go to router 2 here under CLI. First, on the router 2, open a terminal, move to privilege exec mode. If you write here enable, it will be privilege exec mode. As you know, enter configuration mode. We should move to configuration mode, conft or configure terminal or conf terminal, same, and you can go here, and we should assign device name R2, host name R2, and this is the command to assign any name here. Okay, and what is the next process here? The next process configures this password as the encrypted privilege exec mode password. Okay, you should write here enable secret, and we should copy this password and it will be activate for exec mode. It means if you come back to exec mode here and write, I want to go to exec privilege mode, you should write this IP address here. And you can go to exec privilege mode. And also set IP domain name of the router because we want to activate SSH for remote desktop. And in this situation, you should assign any IP domain name. And this is CCNA lab.com. Yes, I have right and tree here. Yes, and an F, disable DNS lookup to prevent a router from attempting to translate incorrectly inter command as though they were host names. Okay, if you write here this command, and after that we can write here, what happened for you if you write here no IP domain lookup? What happened for you? If you write here, for example, this command server T, this is not a true command, but in this situation, after this command, this router is not looking for what is the command. I should translate it. Maybe I should search in the DNS, but you want to disable translating in DNS in this situation. Yes, it is the miracle of this command. Encrypt the plain text password. If you write here, do show IP, do show running config, for example, you can see enable secret and yes, this is here and no. We should come back here and in this situation, encrypt the plain text passwords. It should be service password encryption and encrypt all of the password in your system. If you set any password, it will be encrypted and you cannot see plain text. Configure the username SSH admin with an encrypted password of this password. With this command, as you can see, username SSH admin and secret, this difficult password. What is this difficult password here? And copy. And with this command, you create any username or password for anyone as admin. For example, admin that want to get and want to catch remote desktop and make remote desktop, and its username and password for this person. It's like your resident password in Outlook, in Office 365 and something like that. And generate a set of crypto keys with 1024 bits modules. As you know, we should create it with crypto key. This is key. We want to create it and generate. And this is RSA. There are different, but there are only, we have in this router, we have only RSA to RSA key, and it should be 1024, and it's okay right now. And assign Cisco as the console password. Okay, line console 0. This is for console cable. If you line console 0, if you connect any console cable to your router, you should write this password after that. It's not empty. You should write this password Cisco here and login synchronize. Login synchronous, what does it mean about login synchronous? If you can see, sometimes you are going to write any command here, and after that comes some message and some logging from your router. For example, in switch, for example, VLAN 10 is up right now, and your command will be interrupt, and you cannot write, and you will be confused about this process, and you say stop to get any logging and any message when I am going to write any command. This is the miracle of login synchronous. And other command here, and also configure a session to discount after 6 minutes of inactivity. If your computer, if your system, if your login will be inactive for 6 minutes, it will be locked. Yes, it is this command operation and action, exec timeout 6 and also 0. And also you should enable login. Yes. And at the same time, assign Cisco as a VTY password. What is the VTY password? We should write here exit and line VTY. Line VTY is you can use it for SSH remote desktop and also for telnet remote desktop. You can use it. And in this situation, you should write here again, password should be also Cisco and exec timeout also here, same. And you should write also Cisco, we should activate SSH connection. It's this situation. You should write here, my transport system, it should be SSH. It means you or your system cannot accept telnet because telnet is not safe, as you know. Also, login locale, it means you can use this username and password for login. It's login locale. And create a banner that warns anyone accessing the device that unauthorized access is prohibited. Okay, you can, for example, write here, banner, first exit, banner, MOTD, and you should start with, for example, this one and this one. Yeah, it's any sign do you want. For example, these two sign is, yeah, doesn't make any difference. Only you should write between here, for example, warning, router 2, and something like that. What happened for you if you go back here and you can see warning router 2, this is banner and this is a alarm message you can see here. And what was the password for exec mode? This is password for exec privilege mode, and you can see. I hope it works for us. Cisco. We're configuring Okay, I should write C1 SCO 1, 2, 3, 4. It works. I don't know. Okay, and enable IP version 6 routing. As you know, router to activate routing table and routing protocol in your router and routing system for version 6, IP version 6, you should write here, I want to enable and I want to create IP version 6 routing. I want to make and create routing table for IP version 6. Enable, oh, excuse me, I should enable it. IP version 6 unicast routing. In this situation, you enable IP version 6 routing and configure all interfaces on the router with the IP version 4 and 6 addressing information from the addressing table above. Configure all for interface with descriptions. Activate all for interfaces. Okay. According to R2 and 4 interface here, you should activate all IP address version 4 and 6 here. And first, for example, interface G000, and you need any description. And this is description mode. Description, for example, connection to S3. And we should also, I have already written all commands here. And for IP version 4, you should write IP address also, IP address of version 4, and also subnet mask, and int is for IP version 6. And this is link locale, and also this is IP version 6. As you can see here, I have copy and paste from here, and also you should write here no shutdown. Yes. And interface G001 and description. We should write here description, connection to S4 and IP address for G001, and also login locale. Login locale is, yes, this is a IP address that can get from here. You can see. Yes, this is link locale, but it works for your computer and your switch in this site, and it's like a as you know, it's like a default gateway for PC1, PC2, PC3, and PC4, and this is a link local. And no shot again, and interface. Yes, other that we have interface S010, and description should be linked to R1, for example, and IP address. And we want to introduce and activate default gateway for switch and computer and PC in this site to R1 or maybe other, but we don't need to introduce because it's because it's connected to router 1. Yes, and also no shot and interface. You can see this command. This is command, and this is message and logging appear, but it doesn't appear between our command or we are going to write anything. It will not be interrupted. Yes, and the last one, the last interface that we have here. Yes, you can see from this addressing table, and it will be connected to internet. Yes, this is here, 209, and also login locale. This is only for IP version 6, and here, and also no shot. And we want to do right and copy all of them and save all of the information that I have right in here and all of the configuration. Okay, and save, do copy RST or running config to startup config, and yes, and it will be saved. Yes, save the running configuration to the startup configuration that we have done. In step 3, verify network connectivity using the command line at PC3, ping the IP version 4 and IP version 6 addresses from 4 PC4. You should go here, for example, here, and copy this command, this IP address, and go to PC3, and right here, ping this IP address, and we want to check, and you can see you can get ping here, and also it's same for IP version 4. Yes, it's same process. Because we don't have any time, and yeah, were the pings successful? Yes, from CLI on R2. Okay, R2 ping the S011 address of R1 for both IP version 4 and IP version 6. The address assigned to this S011 interface on R1 is here. Okay, we should go to CLI here, and in exec privilege mode, you should write here, I want to ping, for example, this IP address. Yes, and should be, yes, we have successful. Yes. And also we can ping, for example, IP version 6. We should write here ping 6. And I hope this command work for us, but yes, it should be ping IP version 6 is different on different, yes, it works, different devices. Okay, and also it's okay, and where the ping successful, yes, from command line of PC3, ping the ISP address, this IP address, we should ping it. Okay, we should go to PC3, and here we should ping this IP address. This is IP address of ISP that give us and assign us a network, and also PC3 can have access to 226 ISP address. Were the ping successful? Yes. And because PC is using the default gateway router to forward the traffic. Okay, this is this PC3 using this interface to have access to router to internet, and also router 1 in the other side. This interface IP address is default gateway for PC3. And from PC3 attempt to ping an address on the ISP for testing. Okay, we want to test public address. This is public address. This is, yes, public address of ISP, but we want to check it. I think we cannot, because we need to have a routing protocol and something like that. It's unreachable because routing has not been configured on the router, and so only local connected networks are accessible. No default route is set on router 2. If you go here and right here, show IP route here, you cannot see any address from 64 here. If you can see, this is overrouting protocol. It means you can have access to these IP addresses, okay? And you cannot find any IP address and public address here. And it's routing protocol, routing a table, yes. And from the command line of PC2, open an SSH session to the router 2 G000 IP version 4 address and log in as SSH admin with the password. It's a username and password for SSH admin. If you remember, we should go to PC3, and we have two options here. For example, you can go to this one and right here SSH L, this is not one, dash L SSH admin, this is username, and this is IP address for G000. This is IP address for G000 here. You want to get access to router via this IP address and via this interface, and you should write here this password. And you can see from PC3 we can get remote desktop to R2, and right here, for example, enable, and you should write this password here. This is difficult password. Yes, and you can have access to it, and also you can write here, for example, exit, and come back to PC3 again. PC3, there's a command line. Okay, and now display router information in part 2. From the command line of PC3, open SSH session to the router 2 G00 IP version 6 and log in as SSH admin with the password, this password. Okay, you should go to PC3 again. and it should be IP address of SSH, IP address G001. Yes, this is IP version 6 according to our assignment, and we should use this password and we can have access. Okay, and this is password for privilege exec mode. Okay, right now. And after that, we should go here, login as SSH. We have done it, and retrieve important hardware and software information. Use the show version. Okay, show version. We should write here show version, and you can see some information here. Okay, yes, and start from here. But what is the question here? What is the name of iOS image? iOS image. System image file is boot flash /isr, something like that. It's very long. Yes. And how much non-VRAM with NVRAM does the router have? Okay, we should find it. NVRAM. This is non. Yes, this is NVRAM. This is 32768 kilobytes NVRAM. And also, what about other thing here? How much flash memory? This is also flash memory, and this number is flash memory of this router. Okay, and also the show command often provide multiple screen of outputs, but we want to know and we want to learn about pipe. If you write here, for example, pipe, okay, I hope I can find it on my. Oh, okay, it's okay because show IP. Yes. Okay, we come back here. If you use pipe, it help you about filtering parameter and also filtering expression. For example, if you want to access to have register information on their show version, you can write here pipe include, for example, register. Only you can see configuration register is, for example, this one. And also maybe you want to see flash, for example. You can see system image file is this one and also this one, and flash memory is here. You want to filter this command with expression, and this is the miracle of show version pipe include. What is the boot process for the router on the reload? This is as you can see, this is 0x2102. Oh, okay. And display the running configuration. You should write here show running configuration. You can see a lot of information and a configuration and detail here about your line console 0, line with UI, and interfaces, and also some command that you have created before and something like that. Whatever. Okay. And we want to filtering show running config with expression password. Okay, we should write here show running config pipe include password, and you can see this is encrypted because we have written and configure any command for encryption. Okay, and this is only, you can see only password here under running config, show running config, because we have filter with pipe include password. And how are password presented in the output? Yeah, password is encrypted and you cannot see because, yeah, due to the service password encryption command. And use show running config begin VTY. And what is the result of this command? Yes. User receive and gets running configuration output beginning. That beginning with the line that includes the first instance of the filtering expression, and filtering expression is VTY, and you can see line VTY 04. You can see only line VTY 04 configuration that you have configured already. And in step 4, display the routing table on the router. Okay. Show IP route. This is command to get list of routing table. You can see C and L here. C, it means connected, and L, it means local, and it's C is here. You can see directly connected, and this is the interface that connected to our router, the interface that have this router, and also this is the network address, and this is the IP address because it's /32 and it's L, it means local. It's IP address of that get from serial 00 connected to serial 010. Yes, and you can see here what code is used in the routing table to indicate a directly connected network. Directly connected network, this is C here. And how many routes entires are coded with a C code in the routing table? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, and all of them are network addresses. Okay, this is not IP address of interface. Yes. And display summary list of the interface on the router. You should write here, show IP interface brief or BR, and you can see we have configured 4 interface here, and all of them is up. Status is up. And what command changed the status of gigabit Ethernet ports from administratively down to up is no shutdown. If you write no shutdown, it means administrator want to wake up this interface and it's administratively down. And what filtering command will you use to display only the interface with addressing assigned? If you write here, show, and also you can see here, show IP address brief, and you should use pipe and use exclude. Yes. And you can see also this information here. Yes. And what about use the show IP version 6 interface brief? Yes. And you can see also information about and detail about your IP version 6 configuration here. And what is the meaning of op part of the output? It means administrator has configured them and this interface to op, and also it connected to other device, and it's because you can see green light between, for example, switch 4 to R2 and R2 to R1. All of them is green, and it's also it's up and connected to other interfaces in under other devices, and also same process. And also what the meaning of the up part of the output, and also up status reflects layer 1, layer 2 status of the interface and does not rely on the layer 3 for a status, because layer 3 it's about routing table and something like that, and layer 1 it means cable. It means cable and some infrastructure and cable connected to interfaces, and yeah, also layer 2. It's about MAC address and about something like that. Okay, thank you for watching, and please subscribe me and support me, my friend.